says I'm live. I'm live. What's good? Oh, what's up, people? What's good though to the one person that's in here? I'm just gonna let some other people get up in here. Well, you tell me worked out in the week. Damn. Send this text. All right, we got 4. Let me see. Copy. What's good, Mr. Hamilton? And whoever else is up in here. Hey, Miss Johnny Garnet, aka MGO. Mr. Hamilton, and whoever else. That link is for you. How's my sound on my picture coming across though? Because right now it's showing me I only got 1 bar, which is a little crazy. Hey, Gloss. What up? Hey, Deanna. Mr. Hamilton, paging Mr. Hamilton. Oh, my bad, you backstage. What's good?
Good to hear from you, sir. How are you?
This man. Pretty good.
Good to hear. Yes?
The photo is the baby and mom's
1 second.
belly.
Hey, baby. Oh.
Who is it?
Say hi.
I'm trying to say hi to my niece, but
Warlord. Say hi, Warlord.
Hi, world.
Warlord. Goodness.
Girl, you sound Wardle.
Yes.
Say hi,
War
Warlord.
Turtle. War Turtle.
Right. I don't know. With my other vest, I might look like one.
I know, man. That Uncle Warlord. Good Lord. We ain't taking you anywhere secret. You ain't going to no ops. You're fine.
You got any stories while waiting for more people to come up in here?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Let's see. I told you about my first death threat, yeah?
You told me about your first death threat. Tell them. Well, what do you do for work?
All right, yeah. So let me first make sure that it's my. Okay, perfect. Can you hear me now?
I can hear the whole time.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for. This will be the end of my 2nd year, beginning of my 3rd, and initially I was an attorney and I would do like corporate law, general counsel stuff, but I really was always drawn to the courtroom. So I became a criminal defense attorney, right? And not just any criminal defense attorney, I was a public defender. And I thought this was a good approach because, you get experience. I hate to say it this way, it's going to come off very rude, but it's kind of low stakes. And you get to be in the courtroom. You get to have all the practice you need so that you can ultimately have your own firm. Well, one client I had swore up and down that he was a signed rapper, that his like manager and his CEO were gonna cover his bond, so I just needed to get in contact with him, right? And he gave me these numbers, Warlord, and these numbers were clearly like 555. These were fake. And he's like, I need you to write these down. And I'm like, look, man, like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like, are you sure these are? Yes, these are the numbers. I'm like, look, man, I'll write them down. I'm gonna call them. He's like, yeah, write down this number and this number, and I need you to write down their names and everything. And he's saying like names of clearly like made up stuff, like and I'm just making this name up. This isn't his real name, but it's like, yeah, I need you to call Wilton, New Hampshire. I need you like just. And he's saying names. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way this is real. So I told him, I'm like, look, man, I'm Wilton, New Hampshire. It's not his name, but I'm just saying they were names that were that just far out there. And the guy was like, I need you to call this guy. And I'm like, look, I'm going to do that, but is there any other way that I can confirm that he's real? Like, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I am worried. He's like, well, he'll prove how real he is when he kills you. And I look at him, and he's like, did you? And he just starts going. Yeah, and I'm like,
bro, you should smack his ass, bro.
I was doing a jail visit because I was trying to get his bond information. So when I said that, he's like, did you hear me?
Okay,
you better do what I tell you to do, or I'm gonna effing kill you. And I kind of looked at him, and I just like, I mean, maybe as a Marine Corps and but several things in my mind said, if I just keep staring at him and make him uncomfortable, he's gonna realize how dumb he sounds. So I just stared at him. And he's like, what are you, a clone? He's like, I'm going to kill you, clone. And I just looked at him, and I'm like, are you done? And he just, I'm going to kill you. And he just snaps. He's banging his head against the thick glass in the visiting room. He's freaking out, banging on the doors.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went back to the office and told them, they're like, do you want to stay on the case? Like, do you keep representing this guy? I'm like, no. Like, why is that a question you would ask? But I guess that comes with the territory, Like you're helping people that are in tough spots. They're gonna snap and say crazy things, I guess. So it was, I'm not gonna lie though. It was weird. It was weird. I initially
so you can't defend nobody if you ain't living.
I mean, right? You're not gonna be much of an attorney at the ground.
I'm gonna mute myself for a second. If you want to say
no, you're good, man.
I gotta call the little baby real quick. I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
You do that, buddy.
Anyways. You gonna talk while I'm muted?
Yeah. Hold up. I'm here, buddy. I'm just thinking. Okay.
Buddy me one more time.
Don't worry, little fella. I got you. No. There is one thing that I kind of don't like talking about, but I feel like it's really like required when it comes to this job. So before you become an attorney, right? You're in law school, you finish your third year, and you have to take the bar. Well, I've known a lot of people that have failed the bar, right? And thankfully, I passed on the first try. But I think the absolute worst thing is having a friend that didn't pass, because everyone else is celebrating. We had a group chat, everyone else is celebrating. And once you like, hey, man, did you pass? Did you pass? Did you pass? And then you get to the last person. And when they don't say anything, it just gets so awkward, man. Like, it's tough. And I knew a few people who failed multiple times. I think, honestly, that was probably like you feel bad for them, you can't, it's just it's an awkward situation.
You don't want to show your face again?
I'm going to turn it on, but I gotta get ready for work tomorrow.
They like your face.
No one likes
people
my
like
face.
your face.
You're a liar. No one likes my face.
Yeah.
My mother doesn't like my face.
I don't like your face, and I'm sure Sandy doesn't like your face neither.
Sandra D. All right, I'll hold up. Let me at least get some of this done.
People say hello to you there, Mr. Hamilton.
Oh, hey, how's everyone doing, man?
No, yeah, I
All
guess
right,
you
let me.
can't see the chat.
No, I can't see the chat. But all right, let me set up my little stand and do this. Hey,
Come on,
baby.
girl, you tickling me. Dang.
Sorry.
What's wrong with you?
Be sweet to her. Be sweet to my niece, bro. Don't be rude.
Well, she had her face covered. She's sticking my stuff in my armpit.
Bruh, that sentence out loud is wild. That sentence out loud is wild. All right, hold up. I'm almost done. All right. Here we go. We're almost set up. It's set up. All right, and I think all I gotta do now is just there it is. All right, man. There I am.
Oh shit! Oh, why's your
Why am I red?
Why's
Bro,
your
I'm
beard
getting
look gray?
old, buddy. I'm getting old. This is an old
You're
Alex.
younger
This
than
is
me.
age at. That's not true. In spirit, buddy. In spirit, I'm 60 at
In
least.
spirit, you probably are older than me.
That's true. I just reaffirmed. Yes, that's exactly what I said.
All right.
Jeez,
Well,
man.
whatever. Okay, so I guess 6 people is
Kick
gonna be
this,
the
bro.
average for now.
I've been itching to talk to you about this. Me and you, like, we had this conversation a little bit offline. I've been listening to others. I've been doing my research. I've been reading, talking to other people in the area, and I'm intrigued by this notion. I am intrigued.
What? Okay.
So, and
Oh,
again,
you're talking about the subject?
yeah, the subject, right? And
Oh,
give
yeah,
some
yeah.
background and context. You know what I mean? Because this has been something that, like, after hearing you talk about it, it's been interesting.
Well, dude. So yeah. So pretty much, y'all, what we were talking about tonight, or at least starting with is, kind of the is is it an actual thing, or is it just, does it feel like it to people? Do some people just think it, or what? Is there an actual push? Is there some type of agenda, or is it just the way the times is going? And are men actually, a lot of men, not we won't say all, definitely not me. I don't know about Hamilton over, but definitely not me.
No.
Are men, being more feminized? Are a lot of women being more masculine? Is it, is it out of necessity? Does it have to happen that way? Like as far as like women being masculine, it's real easy for a lot of single mothers that doesn't have family or anything support. It's real easy for them to be like, I have to be more masculine, and some of them might have to, some of them might not. But all in all, more so the feminization of men. At least to me, to my personal opinion, it looks like that there's like a push for it. I don't necessarily want to say like a dang conspiracy or some type of agenda or something like that, but it definitely looks like that there's a push for it. It's good. Good, Delroy. Excuse me. Or
So
push
I think,
towards it.
yeah, I think the reason why I was so interested in this topic is because it attacks so many different concepts, right? So I think generally speaking, the traditional norms, the traditional societal norms of male and female have over time have progressed and evolved into something new. And I guess because for me, it sounds like the question really is that bad, right? I feel like that's what the question really is. Because it seems clear that over time, I would even argue, I'd be so bold as to argue that even in different cultures, different nations, that just societally speaking, civilization, there is always a progression, whether it be one racially based as it pertains to the perception of one race towards another, as it pertains to classism, right? Just the social economic state of certain people and how that how that impacts their trajectory in life. And I think this one, so to be a man, right? That in and of itself, it's not simply confined or restricted to a certain set of traits, right? For example, right? I think the obvious one is like to be a man isn't simply to have. I would argue actually this in lies the rub, right? To be a man, does it require simply just the XY? Is that it? Because I would argue there's more, right? There has to be. like is it just the anatomic makeup that matches? That see, yeah. Is there a push? There is a push. I would agree with MGL, right? I think there is a push, but my question is that a push that naturally comes? Like, or if we do argue, oh, I love this argument, right? The argument that it is being orchestrated. You know me, man.
It's your job.
You know me.
Right.
It is a very fun conversation. I don't know. I don't know. Do we think that there are powers that be that influence and in some way pull the strings of society? I mean, financially
I mean,
speaking,
I honestly think
there is,
a
yeah.
big part of it is European fashion designers. Just to interrupt you right quick. I
No,
think
you're
they got a big push for. No.
well,
You're talking. I just want to put that in there real quick.
no, so I feel like being a man is to a certain degree a reflection of the perception at that time, right? So me and you were roughly the same age. I remember when I was a younger person, right? I would argue in my mind to be a man was to be strong, to be brave and bold. Sorry.
It's my baby.
Yeah, that's my youngest. All right. I would argue to be a man. I mean, let's be real, right? The taking care of your kids, the responsibilities, the bringing home the bacon, air quote. Like there were certain qualities and attributes and traits that you idolized as a man. But I do think because the times do change, that also is not a certain concrete, definitive set list of traits. You know, when I was young, to be big, to be strong, to be, professional wrestling, the big old, larger than life figures. That was the epitome of man. That was the gold standard, if you will. Was it healthy?
Right.
No, obviously it wasn't healthy. Was it realistic? Of course not. It wasn't realistic. But was it, and I would be so bold as to say, was it universally admired? Yes, that, right? Everyone would say, oh my gosh, the body of, The Rock, or the muscles of, who's another one?
I gotta
Like
ask
these
you,
are traits, that you.
I gotta ask you, what's not healthy about it? Oh, real quick. Hey, MGO, what's up? Welcome to the panel, man.
Thanks. And yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you think is not healthy about it because I have some ideas too.
Okay, so for me, the elephant in the room is obviously the natural capabilities of man. Can we naturally over time get ourselves to those measurements, to those appearances? I would argue no, right?
Really quick, y'all. Really quick, you guys. 1 second, Alex, if you don't mind.
No,
this is coming from a dude that never lost a strongman contest. So I mean, I don't know what he's talking about.
Thanks, buddy.
Fat face. Go ahead.
That's true. I gotta lose it, buddy. I ate no Skittles or Reese's Pieces today. These baby steps, all right? They're baby steps to get better. But I would say the rampant steroid use that occurred back in those times is probably what is the unhealthy thing. And because it wasn't publicly addressed, many would have the impression or the perspective that was still, I mean, and let's be real, I'm not trying to be that guy, but we have that issue today. We have the issue of people who, because of the fitness influence in the fitness industry's inability to acknowledge certain glaring issues that comes with the package that they present to the general public, that it blurs the line between reality and I mean, I don't want to say fantasy, but it just fanatic pursuit, right? So that would be, and I'm long-winded, I'm an attorney. That would be for me the unhealthy part. We collectively, and I think that to connect back to our point, we collectively glorify and praise and admire qualities that we see as being unique, distinguishable, almost divinely bestowed on people, right? Not everyone was fast as Usain Bolt. Olympics, right? Not everyone is as strong as, Hathor Julius Bjornsson, or like not everyone was as smart as, Stephen Hawking, and these are qualities and attributes that are so unique that we glorify them. And to connect back to the whole issue is, I think the changing of societal's perspective on these unique qualities is what resulted in the slowly morphing of the definition of man into something new. Is it wrong? I would argue it's not wrong insofar as to be man doesn't necessarily require nothing beyond what you have. I would argue nothing more than what is, and I guess this might be the hot take, right? Nothing more than what is given to you at birth. And I don't mean it the way that it's coming off. I just simply mean you shouldn't have to alter, embrace, or take on certain qualities that you don't inherently have. They can be exaggerated by working out. They can be amplified by whatever actions that you decide. I mean, right? Whatever else you want to do. But I think insofar as more isn't required, I would argue that, and I think that's the issue. The issue is by blurring the lines between man and woman into something new, does it cause for that? Does it cause for people to, in certain degrees, embrace qualities or attributes that require certain detrimental actions, consequences in order to achieve or to pursue that end goal? I think that's the real concern, right?
Right.
I talk too, you can take it. I talk too much, man. This is.
I was going to ask Miss MGO what was her opinion on what she had to say about it.
I actually don't think you talk too much at all. I think what you said makes a lot of sense. And it's really fascinating because, and someone just put in the chat now, every woman has testosterone in their bodies. The levels of testosterone and estrogen depend from person to person. And then they're going to talk about PCOS. And that's I'm a person with PCOS myself. And so for those who aren't familiar, anyone who might be listening to this now or on the replay, that's polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it's a condition that, it's variable, but one of the, kind of textbook symptoms is, or characteristics of it is having elevated androgen levels. So, testosterone. And so it can create issues with like irregular menstruation. It can change the, composition of your body, your hormones, a lot of things can create other problems too, like, cysts in your ovaries, infertility, weight gain. But it's interesting because essentially all humans have, like we have estrogen, we have testosterone, but like what Hamilton was saying about the male, if we're talking about like the biological male, biological female, we're not talking about gender. If we're just talking about like, assigned male at birth, a lot of the qualities I think that we consider the epitome of quote unquote manhood or quote unquote womanhood are fleeting because they only capture a period of manhood. They're not the way a man is when you're a young man, when you're very young. There's certainly some of those characteristics you no longer have in your senior years. When you're older, your testosterone levels drop. Like, so if we think about The Rock, and I know that he, has been working out for years. I know he's getting a little older, and, for a long time when people would say he's using steroids, I was like, no, he's not. No, he's not. He's natural. But I started looking at pictures through the years, yeah. And I started looking at the shape of his head and like the way and I know he's mixed, but, but melanin don't melt. You know what I mean? It's two people of color. You know what I mean? He's mixed with, you know what I mean? And so Polynesian and Black, yeah. And so I'm like, no, something's wrong here. And so I started realizing, and it's like, it's kind of like the woman who goes to get the BBL and the mommy makeover and the, and all these things. Cause she's, people in society have difficulty with aging and with change. And so that's kind of like the male version, you know what I mean? Get the veneers, get the, the male, hair transplants, take the steroids, take the Viagra, because everybody's chasing youth. But I just wish that people would embrace like, being a man is not one snapshot in time. And so some of those elements of manhood, like there are some things, maybe the strength or the energy that you might have in your youth, maybe some of the aesthetic elements of youth are definitely appealing, but the wisdom, hopefully, because there's some fools who in their older age, but hopefully the wisdom you acquire as an older man, those things are of value. The, kind of the things that you acquire, the discipline, and resilience that you develop, I wish that we revered those things more instead of just like some of the physical attributes. And I think that because we've almost kind of basically pigeonholed men and women into, okay, this 18 to 25 element, this is the perfect man or woman. And there's some things about us that are pretty good, but we're pretty stupid at those ages. A lot of us,
No lie.
we're not very developed emotionally or anything, And so for that to be what we're all chasing, I wonder if that's why people swung all the way to the other end, where they were like, okay, men should be able to cry. Let's have them paint their nails. Let's have them carry purses, men bun. It's like we flipped way to the other end trying to correct for something.
But I think that also is an issue that Warlord wants to address. Is that overcorrection something that is eroding at the foundational? But again, I think it circles back. There are no foundational traits, I'm inclined to say, right? Because, I mean, the point that you made, which I think was very eloquently put, is manhood is not, you said it correct, it's not a snapshot of an era in time. Your manhood isn't the focus of your youth. And I think manhood is a amalgamation of your journey in life. It is your perseverance, it is your hard work, it is your XYZ. And I think that maybe, and I really think we should connect it back to the focus. If by painting your nails you think that you are in some way benefiting yourself or society, I don't like manhood. Is that just a alternative version of it? I mean, can I show determination? Can I show hard work by doing these qualities? Because in my mind, I think if the absolute goal is to embolden and energize the youth in order to reach their full potential in whatever it is they pursue or do, I don't see the problem with, to a certain degree, embracing what is not normally considered something that men should embrace. And again, I'm not trying to push back.
Because why be scared of it? No, I don't disagree. Like, I actually think that why people shouldn't be so frightened of those things. But I think we take even water, overconsumption of water can kill you. Yet it's a life, it's something that we need for sustaining life, biological life as humans. And so I feel like we have started to demonize some things that are just manhood. Like I think about this, our school system. To be a little boy in today's public school system is to have every aspect of who you are wrong. You have to, make a bubble, sit still, crisscross applesauce. Some of just the little energy levels that you're supposed to have. Everything about you is wrong. You start your day on a green, you end your day on a red because of you move too much, or you don't do this, or you don't do that.
I have 3 daughters, so I'm really for me, there's a part of me that's I think I was not meant to have a son, because I am the first one who'd be like, my nephews are the fidgeters, man. And there's times where I look at them and I'm like, yo, I can't be mine because you get grounded for a hot minute. See, I had to go grounded. I don't spank anymore. We don't spank around here. All right, we're progressing. Look at that, we're evolving. But we used to back in the day. I don't do that anymore. Hashtag I'm better.
I got a question.
But no, I think.
Can I interrupt you guys real quick? Can I ask you a quick question?
By all means.
Well, I'm being fussed at by a few people. Is my should I change it? I thought the thumbnail pertained to the conversation.
No, I think
it was a good question.
No, I think
the thumbnail is good.
No, I think the thumbnail is good because I think what we're addressing is a foundational issue when it comes to manhood, right? Because I think what we're ultimately showing with the thumbnail is that snapshot of the thumbnail that you put, is that any less masculine than the ridiculously jacked guy who's holding 3 kids and his wife who's wearing the flannel,
What
wearing the
was the
boots,
thumbnail?
wearing
I
the.
didn't. Sorry to interrupt. What was the thumbnail? I didn't see it.
It's a bodybuilder in a dress. I mean, you want to catch me in a
Oh,
dress? I mean,
sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
thought it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly thought it would get people's attention and make them click on it and it pertains to the conversation.
It's not clickbait.
But
It is connected to the.
the.
No, it's connected to the conversation. I think the reason why some people may not be happy is because, to a certain degree, our conversation hasn't addressed that point of individuals who are actively trying to embrace qualities that are not traditionally viewed as masculine and how that is impacting it. Because it could be interpreted as, well, is this like a black, because the picture, is this like a black issue? Is this more of a whatever? And I think what we're addressing now is the initial concern. The initial concern is, what is manhood? Because if manhood is nothing more than just individuals who, and again, for the sake of, I'm not trying to be that guy, but individuals who would be traditionally considered male, if masculinity is nothing more than the qualities and attributes that they embrace, that they take on, that allow for them to most effectively pursue their goals, then there is no difference between the man wearing the dress, fingernail paint, and high heels, and the man who's the jacked bodybuilder holding 3 kids in the, like, there is no difference insofar as what they embrace or they choose to take on is positively impacting their family, themselves, and their future. There is no difference. However, the issue is, and I think that's what we're kind of going to as well, how does fingernail polish do this? How does wearing this dress do that? And I guess in my mind, to circle back to the point made earlier, it's what helps you. Because to be a man is, and I'm going to be both. Hot take. I think being a man is unique. And it's unique to you. Because for me, you could have a perspective of manhood that has been drastically impacted by the surroundings that you grew up in that calls for you to be the opposite, right? If you saw nothing but gym rats and meatheads all around you who bullied you, treated you horribly, said that you're never going to be a man, you're this, that. If you totally do the 180, it seems understandable for you to pursue what you pursued, whatever it may or may not be. And I think that's the reason why the thumbnail works. The thumbnail works because what we consider not manly, what we consider to be masculine, really shouldn't impact how you consider masculine or what you think masculine is. There should be, it's not required for Hamilton and for Warlord to agree on that, in my opinion. Insofar as, and again, I think this is where the issue truly lies, insofar as I'm not saying your perspective on masculinity is wrong. The moment that happens, then we have, that's the reason, and I think that, to go back, that's the reason why the thumbnail works. Because many would say, my bad, everyone's talking. Many would say, that thumbnail isn't masculine. And I think this conversation is being had because I'm inclined to say it is.
I want to introduce an idea, and I want to give like a trigger/content warning to people because it includes violence toward the end of it. But it's the only way to make this point. So years ago, I think when I was in middle school or something, I read this book by Chinua Achebe called Things Fall Apart. And there's, he's written, several books. But in my mind, I know when people talk about toxic masculinity, they think about, oh, the little boy who's told you can't cry, that's for sissies or whatever, or that if a man is, opens his wife's door, I don't know, whatever. I'm not sure. It's variable how far people take this idea. Some things I think that are considered, some things are, might just be maybe a more conventional or traditional idea of manhood, and people are considering it toxic, whereas some things might actually be toxic. And I'd say not even toxic manhood, just toxic humanity if a person has to bottle their feelings. But it's definitely something that's pushed more on men. But to get back to the story, in this book, there's a character, and it's written a long time ago, like pre-colonial or early colonial, time in West Africa, and it's the Igbo ethnic group or Igbo tribe, and there is a man, and there were like skirmishes and fights with like warring nations, and so at one time they fought with this one village, and there was a fought they battled with them, and a number of people were killed, and they took some hostages, of which one was a little boy. I think he was like 6 or 7 years old. And so his parents had been killed, his in the war and the unrest. And so they didn't know what to do with him at the time. So they took him, like the older people were enslaved, but the young one, he's a child. So they didn't want to do that. So they told this gentleman who was like a high ranking official in their village, hey, take this kid in and bring him in. He'll be part of your household until the elders decide what to do with him. And he was like, okay. And so the child was terrified. He didn't know the people. He didn't know anything, but he stayed. They raised him basically like an adopted son or foster son, and he was raised with them for like 6 or 7 years. And so no one ever said anything different. So I guess the family assumed that the village just decided to let the kid be part of. He's going to school and everything, like become part of them. But sadly, at some point, 6 or 7 years down the line, they decided the boy needs to die. He carries the blood of his treacherous ancestors who've done horrible things to our people. He's got to be killed. And so they told him, and the man was devastated, but he's not going to defy the elders. And so they decided they were going to do it. They have this like ancestral place, so they would do it out in the woods. And so some people came to him and they said, you shouldn't be there. This child calls you father, and you shouldn't be there. But he said, no, I have to go there because it will be odd if the kid isn't supposed to know what's happening. If we're gonna all take him out, it will be odd if I don't go. So the kid thinks they're going on like a hunting excursion. He's going along like to help, or something like that. He's all excited, like with his daddy and the big men. And so he's like a preteen or a teen. And so they go out, and then all of a sudden the men pull out their machetes and they start slicing the boy. And the boy gets hit, and he runs to the father with tears in his eyes, and he says, "Father, they have killed me." And the man was like they said, his stomach was like, and his heart was like like he felt nauseous. But he grabbed his machete and sliced the boy too, because it said, "quote unquote," he did not want to be perceived as weak. And so that always stuck with me. It like always disturbed me. I don't think I slept that night when I read that, because it wasn't even like he didn't care. Like, oh, well, it was like he knew it was wrong. He knew it was hurtful. And even other people said, you shouldn't be here. I mean, this is wrong, what we're going to do, but we're going to all go along with it. But you should at least not be present. But not only was he present, he participated in it, because to him, the idea of being seen by his peers, by the people he valued, who he cared about, was so much more important to him than the emotional turmoil he was going to, not only create for himself, but for this child's last moments. And to me, that has nothing to do with makeup and heels and gender identity or sexuality. To me, that's like the epitome of toxic masculinity, or humanity. Again, that you've lost yourself, the core of who you are, for an ideology, and that's just sick to me.
Clayton put a comment. He said, "We have been indoctrinated to believe that about manhood," and I don't want to take his comment out of context, but I think that there is a blending of both points in the story you just told, a very good story, because I think really it's those societal pressures that makes us have this perception of nail polish, certain clothes, certain whatever, because ultimately, right, individuality, uniqueness should be qualities or attributes that are praised on people. And I think the uniqueness of humanity should result in, again, the uniqueness of masculinity, the uniqueness of femininity, the uniqueness of all these concepts, because that I think is what hurts the most. It's when you're being told, right? You're being told by others that this is not approved. This is not acceptable, right? And I think that's when we get to these points. That's when we get to the situation where we have to harm ourselves or others, figuratively or literally, in order to adhere to concepts that although we may not approve of, we must embrace in order to prevent either further damage to ourselves or further damage to others. I mean, peer pressure, right? Like that's what we have. And again, great story. It's just, That's tough.
Just real quick, just a little side note, because both of y'all saying some, in my opinion, real good stuff. Just me personally, just being whatever, the average, whoever. My idea of masculinity, honestly, comes from people like, me growing up with and watching my father, my uncles, other men that I looked up to. For you and I and a few others, Alex, or my bad, Hamilton and Sontag too. Part of that comes from what we got from the Marine Corps as well. Just how I grew up. You know what I mean? And that's my idea of my, like, down to the bare bones basic idea of masculinity. But and then at the same time, I know how to recognize it might not be the same for everybody else. And then also there's things I look at where I'm like, that's feminine, but when it comes to other men, but and then with me, it's more of like their mind state. Me, Hamilton is like I view people that I feel like males that are mentally weak is feminine. It's like I get disgusted. It's like, get away from me. You know what I mean? That's just my little personal thing. And real quick, because y'all two took it away, which is good.
No, okay. So mental weakness. I
view that is weak and feminine.
So,
but see,
again,
at the same time, I'm not saying that's like ladylike. That's like a girl. Say what?
I was about to say because
you're
implying certain. I wasn't trying to get you, but what I'm saying is the implication with that statement is very dangerous. No, I hear you. And again, your family. I would never. It's just I think that what we need to be careful of. And again, by all comments or whoever's in the show, please correct me if I'm wrong. My concern is that when we, to a certain degree, apply moral qualities or moral declarations to certain aspects of individuals due to a general or societal perception, that's a worry for me. So mentally weak individuals, let's break it down bare bones. So mentally weak individuals, I'm inclined to say are individuals who, although they may have certain perspective, principles, viewpoints, maxims, whatever, they sway or they alter that way of thinking in order to adhere to or in order to embrace something that they would view as generally accepted because they don't want to be viewed as a ideological minority. I would say that's weak-minded, right? Now, moral qualification to it, is that bad or good? I don't know. Because I know, if we're going to be honest, right, there were instances in the Marine Corps where I didn't think a certain way, but I also didn't want to get hazed. And I say, hey, I don't mean hazed the other way. I just mean I didn't want to have a tough time. I didn't want to be isolated. I didn't want to be picked on, etc. Now, self-preservation or weak, right? Self-preservation it's dangerous, Warlord. That's all I'm saying. So to apply a feminine, to apply that as feminine would allow for individuals to say, well, the alternative is masculine. And based on the statement, it would sound like it's dangerous is all. That's all. It's
I'm ignorant, bro. It's always gonna be the same for me. If you're mentally weak, if you're freaking out when you should be the one keeping your head cool to get whoever, get us, get them. Well, it's never gonna be us, because if you ain't doing it, I'm gonna do it to get them out of whatever the situation is. If I view you as mentally weak, I view you as weak and feminine. Not taken away from your point at all. Are you frozen or are you just staring at me? You're muted, bro.
I said I'm reading some of these comments. These comments are wild. Yeah, this is.
Wait, why my thing freeze on StreamYards?
I don't know, man.
Some balls are broken now.
I was about to say, I was like, these comments are wild. I don't think, and again, I want to apologize because this may come off as argumentative, and I'm really not trying to be. I don't think qualities that are considered or will be categorized as feminine are morally wrong, shameful, or undesirable. I don't know if classifying weak-mindedness is just strictly and uniquely feminine. I'd be inclined to say that because of the ability for anyone, regardless of how they identify, what they choose to embrace, etc., can it display aspects of weak-mindedness. I think that it is a unique quality that is, or should not carry such a title. However, I think some of the comments in the chat said another point that morals, to a certain degree nowadays, are almost absent from the public spectrum, from the public sector. So I don't.
Absent nowadays.
It's just.
What up, Sonny?
It's just a very unique position we find ourselves in. But and again, I'm inclined to say it. I'm sorry, what did you say, brother?
I'm saying hello to people as you talk. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just making sure I catch everybody. Hellos that come in.
No, I appreciate that. That's very cool of you. I don't know. I'm inclined to say that whatever. I think the thumbnail proves the point. Masculinity is something that collectively people want to try to pin down. But because individuals are aspects or parts of the collective, you can't. We cannot generally agree on anything. I think embracing the individual definition of such a concept is probably more beneficial for the collective, because it forces open-mindedness. It forces individuals to acknowledge aspects that they themselves have not even taken into consideration. And again, I am not going to definitively say that is a correct perspective to have or approach to take on something as complicated as this, because it's funny that masculinity could never have been pinned down, right? We can't say, well, what was masculine in the 90s is correct, or the 80s, or earlier, or sooner. Like, I don't think, and I think that inability shows and demonstrates that fluidity is more.
I don't see anybody
masculinity
backstage.
is more akin to fluidity. Oh,
right.
Waiting to join.
No, I don't see nobody. Is there something I can't see?
I don't know. Someone said that someone's trying to join.
No, I don't see. I just see us three.
Okay. Well.
What about really quick?
No, yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
No. I wanted to ask. Is there? By all means, take it.
I was just gonna say, what about the original question though? Is society, what's my opinion, Europe and some government trying to make males more feminine, even though we kind of talked about what is your definition, what is our definition of being feminine as far as the male goes. And again, can't forget about the women. Our women is society, is whoever trying to make women more masculine as well.
I think if we expand the question, we can probably get close to a ballpark answer. We know that there is government involvement in many industries, especially industries that impact the ideology and way of thinking of many, right? We know that Disney has many factors that it takes into consideration when it produces products. We know that clothing lines are targeting more than just their primary purchasing demographic. We know that music is produced and manufactured in a way to draw in not only the people who buy, but also the people who hear. So I think it is fair to assume that government bodies do to a certain degree alter or influence the spheres that impact their general populace severely or significantly. Now, does that mean that they're doing it with an agenda? Are they ahead? Are they ahead? Are we putting the carrot in front of the horse, or so to speak? I guess is society changing faster than the government's directives are guiding it, or is it the reverse? I mean, it's really who is guiding the ship. If the general populace is way of thinking is such that those elected officials are trying to accommodate it, then it's the reverse. It's us. We are the ones that are influencing the companies to put out what it puts out, to present what it presents, and etc. But if you think it is the reverse, if you think that it is us being just receivers and being receptive to what the high officials are, then it would be the alternative, right? It's I hate to say, like many things in my profession, it's complicated. What do you think, Warlord? Are you inclined to say that it is just it is not us, but it is those in the positions, on high that are pretty much trying? And what would be the goal? I guess would be the ultimate.
Honestly, bro,
the ultimate question.
You know me, man. It goes deep with me, man. I feel like it's a little bit of European influence and how they like to even though it's like you can kind of say America, we influence a lot of most of the culture as far as pop culture, youth culture, stuff like that goes. But at the same time, Europe, they've always tried pushing ideas onto us and Australia first, and then bringing it back to themselves. Or sometimes they'll just go ahead and do it to themselves. I feel like a little bit of it comes from that. I feel like it comes from like fashion designers and stuff like that. Like, look at us. You and I, we listen to most of the same rap, things like that, like that. But it's like, look at the stuff that's pushed. Just like European fashion designers, you know what I'm saying? They gave stuff to different pop artists, rap artists, things like that, clothes, feminine looking clothes and stuff for free. Told them this is exclusive, wear it, and then they do, and then everybody wants to buy it on jacked up prices. And I feel like that they push it that way to make themselves money and to push their own little weird little ideas of what femboys or what men should look like, what women should look like. Even as far as like video games goes, it's like nowadays they uglize any main character or any sexy looking woman, in a video game, make her look all butch and masculine. If it's a European or in most European and American based video game companies, and then like even this one dude, he's super duper like beyond far left, but yet he complained and then he tried to take the post down, but too many people has already been talking about it. He's a black game designer. He makes characters. He was complaining about every sexy black female character he made. They completely destroyed the look of her to where she was just looking just either fat or just super butch. But then of course, since he's super duper far left, he had to come back and be like, oh, I'm not saying that. So you guys jump on my bandwagon and jump on my blah 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 blah. The point is, even you said it, and you're super duper far left, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, and I think that this is the general concern. Again, it is the progression of society. Are we collectively directing our own evolution as it pertains to what we would normally view it as? I don't know. I don't know. I'm inclined to say again. I'm inclined to say that we change. We change and they react. They respond. And by they, I mean, of course, the political figures. Of course, I mean those that are
I
supposed to
think it's
represent our
pushing
best
pull,
interests.
man.
I'm inclined to say it's us directing the ship. Now,
I think it's pushing pull.
academia
Well,
would
as
be a
far as
concern.
government goes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, man. No.
I feel like as far as government goes, I feel like a good amount of them, yes, but at the same time, they're buddy with the people that's starting the cycle. They're buddy with these ultra rich fat fashion designers, wannabe trendsetters, and stuff like that. So it's like push and pull because it's like they kind of like amplify some of the silliness that goes around, in my opinion.
Sorry. I try to unmute myself. No, and I think that's an interesting point too. I mean, if I think the issue would be, and I think this is what's most unsettling, is if it is true that the guy who's making the clothes is the guy who's talking to the social media guy who promotes his clothes, who's talking to the network that, you know what I mean? Like, if it is all connected,
Part of it,
we are
just one part of it.
It's just
Yeah.
then
Sorry.
if we are not,
I
you
just
know
want
what
to
I mean?
say
No,
I'm not saying it's so cut and dry. I'm just saying to me that's one of, you know what I'm saying, the avenues that leads to where we are now, that led to where we are now.
Yeah, I'm just, again, for me, that's what I want to. I'm inclined to not give them that much credit. However, there are instances where it is pretty clear that the role that I initially thought we played, it's not nearly as impactful as it would seem, right? I mean, if you think the 60s and 70s, so many grass grown, like the just naturally, organically grown movements. I'm inclined to say that we still are behind the driver, behind the steering wheel. I was going to say driver's seat. That's behind the driver's seat, not driving. But I still think we're the ones in the driver's seat, and I just don't like the notion that if we're not, and we're just merely consumers, we're nothing more than just
No, I'm not saying that,
it's
Paul.
it's very nihilistic, it's very pessimistic, actually, probably is more appropriate term, not nihilistic. But it's just it's tough, man. It is tough. Gosh. Debbie Downer. Talk about something happy. Sheesh.
I mean, I can end with something happy. I was about to move on to the next subject anyways.
Anyways, what is it? What's the next one?
So the next one is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to say does. I'm going to say how much does the media try to control the narrative of not even just politics, multiple things. Yes, sir. That's where we're going.
No.
I won't even say does the media. I'm saying how much does the media? How much does the media?
I mean, we know the examples, man. They show. I forgot which one of my. It might have been you. There was a few people who showed me like articles, same article, the same topic addressed in two different networks. It's just, and I think that the divisive qualities of the media with the American people is what concerns me the most. It's just there is no such thing as news. It's red news and blue news. There is no just facts. There is just, again, it's all propaganda, which means nothing. It's just
mostly agree with you, man.
It's tough, man. It just makes me sick sometimes if you think about it. I mean, generally speaking, right? Everything is propaganda to a certain degree. Everything is being altered, modified, or in some ways morphed into something in order to bring about or promote or present a particular political point. I mean, yeah, Clayton's so right. It is a reality show. And it sucks. It sucks because and you know what? A perfect example. I love my parents. Warlord has met them. My parents are awesome. My parents really are. My parents got divorced young, but my mom has been just a great person. She's been there for me through a lot. And my dad remarried an awesome woman who, I always tell my kids, because they say, Dad, why do we have 3 grandmas? And I said, well, your dad, when he was young, was a really bad kid. So, you know, he needed an extra parent to help get him there. And they always laugh, but that's just true. Anyways, now both of them watch different networks. My dad, and you met my dad, Old Man Hamilton and Mrs. Hamilton, Mama Hamilton, and then my mom, Mammy Hamilton. One's MSNBC, one's like Fox. It's bad. And I can tell that they're talking about the same story, but it's literally
on this audience.
What?
I said this man said mammy with a good amount of our audience. You got to be careful with that.
I didn't mean. I was gonna say mama, but my bad. But like, no, man, it just sucks because it's like I can tell. Thanks, bro. I'm about to get canceled already. No,
not that. I'll explain to you later. D Hill, what up?
But I guess you can tell, right? You can tell that the nucleus of the story, the focus, the epicenter of the story, from both perspectives is the same, but it gets morphed after they start talking about something else, and it gets morphed into a very toxic or very divisive point, right? And I think that's when, and I hug both my parents. I listen to them. I smile when they talk about their stupid, super divisive points, but it's just like, I think for me, that's what it gets to. It gets to that you can't ever just get story. You can't ever get facts. You can't ever get statistics. You can't ever get anything. It is always going to be filtered and pasteurized and packaged and presented in a way to bring about someone else's end goal. And I think and I know that has always been an issue for as long, in time. But I think that this is the greatest thing that we could have had, man. I think social media has allowed for people to try to filter out the BS, try to get to just the core of stuff, and not so much of the crap, not so much of this red, blue, us, them, tribalistic way of thinking that's just so crippling to a community,
Bro, all I have to say, I feel like social media started that way, because when it got big, people was hearing what I would say more truths from the GP, and obviously it is where it is right now, to where even that's being controlled, and it's like a little bit more powerful. Well, today it's definitely a more powerful tool, more powerful weapon than TV or regular news itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like even like last election time, bro. I clearly saw them either deleting or it's like they would like take whole entire words out of some posts I would put on Facebook. Like that's crazy. Like it's crazy that I can actually see it myself and notice it, or that like my post nobody can see it. I'll repost it a few times and then just keep on telling me can't post at this time. Try again, or some stupid message like that. Even
I'm telling you, man, it's easier and easier for them.
Yeah. So when
I said it's easier and easier for them. All it takes is a few keywords. That's all it takes. Algorithm does the rest. That's wild. That's sad. But But they'll let all these other people put up this raunchy material. They'll let all these other people promote all this craziness, all this deplorable content, and just because you have a view that doesn't properly get supported, you're probably on. You really are the warlord. I
talk about politics when I make shorts of me shooting guns. I've been on the list. Quit playing, and I'm a Christian.
I'm just gonna tell them they don't gotta worry about me.
Crazy.
I play chess and video games. That's it.
Huh?
I said they don't have FBI. Don't worry about me. I have no problems. I play chess and video games. You don't. I'm just a little bucko trying to make it.
You're a Christian, dog.
I mean, yes.
They've been labeling Christians as extremists now, just for being
When
Christian.
did that start happening? What?
It's been that way.
Huh. All right. Well, gotta love it, buddy. Can't even just. Goodness, man. Goodness. Well. Again, this is depressing. Why talk about positive stuff, Warlord? Gosh, Ricky, what is it? 8:16. I gotta get ready for bed. Thinking about all the sadness that we just discussed. Can't we talk about something good? What is good? Bring up a good topic.
Use it for work tomorrow. I didn't look up any good topics. I lied to you when I said we can talk about something good last. I mean, pretty much it was just media and social media.
Okay, well, we'll talk about something.
Hold up, really quick.
What's up?
If anybody else wants to add to it, y'all are welcome to jump up on the panel. I'll post the link again before Alex gives us something happy. For Hamilton gives us something happy to talk about.
Yeah, everyone knows my name now, dog. Thank you. It doesn't matter at this point. Everyone's figured it out. Anyways, but no, man, I will say this. I'll say this. I will say I do think, and maybe this is a little, wishful thinking, but I do think times are changing for the better. I do think that we are not, huh?
Oh, Sontag, if he wants to jump up, he's more than welcome.
Tell people to jump up, man. I think that's awesome. Please tell people to come in.
My legs.
The water is fine.
Shit.
Tell Clayton to jump on. Oh, he cusses a lot. We do need a tip jar.
We all cuss a lot.
Who's so strong? Yo, some of these comments are wild.
D Hill says start the whole show over because you missed the first hour. D Hill, the first hour we was talking about the feminization or possible push to feminize men in America. Well, all over the place, but me, where most of us are Americans, so America.
Yeah. And then we got to the main question of what is masculinity, because I think you need to answer that before you can address this ultimate overarching question. And I think that got us to a really peculiar position. What's up, Body?
So one of these I have to mute.
I'll mute.
No, it's mine. It's showing double here. I'm Clayton, by the way.
Clayton
Clayton Sontag. I'll throw my real name out there. I need to take my company shirt off, though.
Right.
I don't go or play for Georgia, so we're fine.
Does this have a delay? I've never done this before. All right.
Just spit your mind, bro.
You don't want me to do that truthfully because I'll get in trouble. But to push points on the previous when I joined, masculinity is fucking dead. It's a dying thing. It's gone. Like, you can't do anything that is considered manly anymore without being judged or hated on in most cases. Even where I'm from, small rural town Texas, like, I don't know, the youth of our days is just, I don't know. I try my children. I don't understand it if it's social media, what teachers are teaching at school. I don't know what's going on there. Like, it's wild. But to go into perspective, and this is not a very popular topic, but like, even being feminine in this world is being taken away by men. Like I said earlier in the chat, Woman of the Year, man. Top women officials at the White House, men. Biological. I'll give them that. Biological men. Top athletes that are trying to be biological men. As a woman, if I were a woman in America right now, I would be just heinously pissed off, just mad to see that getting taken away, because still men are just proving that they can take it from you. They can take being a woman from you. You should not allow that to happen. What
is it to be a woman?
To be a woman is to be an adult female human.
To be a female is what then?
That's the definition. To be a female
chromosomes.
You have
to be
you
chromosomes.
Have ovaries.
It's just chromosomes, right?
Yeah, but you have ovaries.
No.
You can birth children.
Be careful though, because there's women who have had surgeries. Yeah, but there's women who have surgeries that had all that removed, and I still would argue they would be considered women, no?
Yeah, surgery. You were born with it, though. You're getting into semantics that shouldn't matter, right?
I'm not. Well, no.
You're born with it.
Yeah, but I guess the ultimate question, right, is if these qualities or attributes are altered, modified, or removed or negated in any way, that doesn't make them any less of what they were.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Now, if we are just simply saying that to have this XX, whatever, or to have XY is that, and that's enough.
Popper.
Say again?
I was saying hello
He's just,
to
he's just calling people out. Well, yes, sir. What I mean ultimately, and again, I'm not trying to be the sophist of the group. What I'm mainly trying to push is the notion that qualities or attributes that are beyond the bare bones, whether it's XX or XY or whatever it may be, I don't think they detract, take away, or in any way negate that which already is. So I think again, we maybe pick something that's a little too fickle, right? Nail polish or yeah, maybe divide. I think that that's a great point. Like I think maybe it was that, but I think
dirty panties. Inside joke for most of the chat. Dirty panties.
Caitlyn. Oh no.
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh no.
The most athletic man in the world gets Woman of the Year. My point is proven.
Is he a woman? Oh no, I don't want to have this conversation.
He said, "Is he a woman?" There you go. Is he a woman?
You know what semantics. You do.
Exactly.
You knew.
Exactly.
No, and you're right. And I guess what I mean by you're right, I'm ultimately getting to the notion that right can I be something? Can I embrace something? Or do the qualities that I embrace have to inherently reside within me? And I think
anything but a man.
I think you could be anything but unique is really the point. I mean, I think we're at the point now where individuals who embrace certain things that they desire or they get to, third party perspective is now becoming more valuable than anything beyond what you yourself think.
I think it's almost the opposite. Like on a global scale, I think more now it's acceptable to be unique. It's pushed to be unique. You can't be let's be honest, like full disclaimer, I have no hate towards any people that choose to be whatever they want to be. I just get on the side of the fence that, accolades that were made for gender specific roles being the traditional genders, male, female, right, are being taken by people of other genders nowadays. It's an atrocity to me. But to state that, full disclosure, I don't care. I do not care about your sexual orientation, whatever gender you want to be, your color, race, credo. Like Bailey's green. He's always going to be green. He's a shorter green now, but finally taller than Bailey. But, no big deal.
Warlord.
I just dropped his name too, didn't I? My bad.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, man. What? Yeah, you did. Good Lord.
I can't help it.
I was reading the chat.
He did it to you. He did it to you. I had to get
my name's out. It's whatever.
No, I made a
Larry Bailey, Van Ninja.
Clayton, it's on my shirt. But it's to go back into that though. It's just I just can't fathom that in the world now. Like if you want to be a helicopter, you can. I know I'm being a little ridiculous, but it is accepted widely. There's a small niche group of people nowadays that are trying to hold on to the old ways. I guess you can call it the old ways, the more traditional, more moral valued type traditional.
We live in Warhammer, the old
exactly ways. Right. Yeah, the old style of
old world
living. And I get things change. People change. There's more independence given. There's more avenues of getting information out. There's all kinds of stuff. Like I understand that. But when you want to be a platonic family, I want to be a man and I want my wife to stay at home and clean and cook and do all that stuff, which she does freely and she enjoys that, we would be looked upon as the outcast now. Like, oh, you just want to be a misogynist male and have your wife sit in the kitchen all day. That's the way I was raised. I grew up this way. This is the way I live. I'm not coming to your house and judging your ways, but it's
true.
And it's taken away from me. I'm the oddity now.
That's my
Clayton,
opinion
can I
in
push
life.
back a little bit? Can I push back just a dash? Now, if your wife staying home isn't what's it doesn't make her a woman, correct? It's just
No.
it's just an aspect that she embraces, that you
Yeah.
appreciate, that she embraces, right?
It
Yeah, and I
wouldn't be-
think that, and honestly, boss, I think that's really the focus of this. The focus is you going out, you bringing the bacon home, you doing all the hard work, you doing the yard work doesn't make you a man. And I think that maybe, and this is just me being that one, maybe our real concern is we are so enamored with the thought that, and I think this goes back to our other episode, right? Like the personal attachment that we have to our views is what prevents others' views from being even considered. And I'm not saying you, man. You just said it multiple times. This isn't a position based on animosity or some type of malicious approach.
100%.
I think really what this boils down to is you yourself are comfortable with this particular view. Others are embracing views that may be, in conflict with yours. Can they both be right? Yeah. In law, there is a principle of non-contradictory, right, or non-contradiction. Yeah. But I think in the real world, that's not a thing. Both can be true, and really, Warlord's thumbnail works because masculinity is more than just. And again, we're emphasizing something that's small, but it's more than just the guy with the nail polish. It's more than just the guy. Like, it's more than that. And insofar as we're comfortable with knowing that my view of masculinity isn't an overarching, universally embraced thing, and that's fine. And so is the gentleman, the individual's view who has a different one. If that's fine too, then we're all hunky dory, live and let live. But I think the real issue, Clayton, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the issue now is, at this point in time, there are aspects, or actually not even aspects, there are groups, demographics in our society that have the view of, no, you are wrong. Clayton, Warlord, Hamilton are wrong, period. And until you acknowledge how wrong you are, you need to not have a platform, or you need to not have a whatever. And I think that's the dangerous point that we're getting to.
And that's the dangerous point. But to swing back to you wanting the happy parts, that's what I love about America. That's what I absolutely love about it. I just wish people wouldn't be such assholes and fight about it and be like us in this room. We can have opposing opinions, but I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not changing your mind. You're not changing my mind.
No,
your life doesn't affect my wallet or what I do in my own house.
Vice versa.
Exactly. So we can have this kind of dialogue. We're not going to fist fight or slander each other.
No, man.
But
what you drink,
the beauty of it, and what I do honestly love, which is going to like half-ass contradict myself, and I'll admit it, I do love the fact if I wanted to wake up tomorrow and go, I'm going to be a woman, I'd be widely accepted. That is the freedom of it. That is the reason in my small brain I went to war. I went to war for that. I went to war for your right to stand on that flag, piss on it, take a shit up, burn it, set it on fire. That is your freedom. Do I agree with it? No. I don't agree with it. I don't have to agree with it. But as an American, born in America, to me, that is the privilege. You have that right to do what you want. I don't have to agree with it. I can hate it all day, but I'm not going to walk outside and paint it on the walls that you're a piece of shit because you think this way. No, it's not my job. You do what you do. You don't live my life. I don't live yours. But
no.
I
learned that in Virginia, man. I learned that in Virginia. And I think Warlord remembers, I lived in California for a long time. I went to UC Berkeley for undergrad before I went to law school. So and I'm from California. So it wasn't until Virginia. Well, yeah, but
I have so many jokes I can't say online.
I don't know what got to realize, but y'all was at Banger at the same time.
Bro, I was first platoon, dude. I'm the best.
Yeah.
Was he there? Was he there when I got NJP'd?
Yes.
I got battalion NJP'd for hazing Abbott. Sorry, chat, if y'all don't know what that means.
Wait.
Me, Creighton, Krause, Gapwell. Bam! That's me.
Okay, that's the conversation we're going to have off of this. But
yeah. We'll have to close the rest of the chat so I can throw my Berkeley jokes at you too.
That's great. Well, hey, I'll say it again. I went to Berkeley because my dad went, so I had to go. But I mean, again, man, it wasn't until I hate to say it, but it's true. It wasn't until Virginia. It wasn't until Virginia that I learned that, man. The live and let live. Like, hey, it is totally fine. Like, I drove, and hot take, Clayton, I apologize for saying it, but I drove from Georgia when I was staying with my sister before I started law school, drove through North Carolina to my ultimate place here in Virginia, and I saw Confederate flag after Confederate flag after Confederacy after Klan, whatever. And I thought to myself, I'm like, the California in me was, oh God,
Yeah.
no. But then I realized, look, man, this is my home. This is my land. My wife and I own a home. This is ours. You do whatever you want over there. I don't care. But the moment that you come here, then we have problems. And in my mind, that's what I love about America. Like, hey, man, you do what you want to over there. And I'll even say, you do what you want to across the street. You do what you. But the moment that you come here then we have a problem.
When you're laying blacks over my bank, it's on.
Yeah, and again, and I think that's why this conversation is so important. Is because ideologically, it's the same way, man. You think what you want to think. You post what you want to post. You preach what you want. You do whatever you want to do. However, the moment, and I think maybe this is the hot take, Clayton, the moment that you try to tell me what to think, or the moment you try to tell my children what to think, then we have a problem. And I think that, and again, I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm not trying to be the confrontational one, but I think that's for me. That's my, that's my line.
No, I mean, you're 100% right. That's how it is.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with him. I mean, it's we have the same belief system on that. Like me, I'm
right.
36-year-old white male. I live in Beaumont, Texas, where demographically I am the minority here. But I don't know what you see on TV and stuff. It's not here. Like, I don't get it. Like, I see stuff on TV and it's this whole race war and race debates all the time. And, all the weird diversities on the genders and all that stuff. I don't see it, bro. Like, we're all just working class Americans out here. We're all oil filled.
Right.
We go to work. I put my pants on the same way that dude puts his pants on. He goes to work for his family. I go to work for mine. We talk shit to each other behind closed door in the office. We call each other all kinds of fancy stuff. We go home. We love each other just like we love each other. Like, that's the going back to the sad part. That's what makes me sad in America is the fact that it's like dying, like on that. Nobody can just love everybody.
ELE, semi-pro, bro. Everybody love everybody. That's such a but that's so. It's funny you say that, man, because I don't know, and again, I'm not trying. I don't know when that stopped, and maybe the Marine Corps spoiled me, because there's a part of me that's like, I've never heard more racism, but have been so cool with it in the Marine Corps.
Oh yeah,
and
I mean, all of it, homophobes, the racists. Like, I mean, we could go for days on stuff we've all said and did and to each other and that, but it was.
I didn't say or do anything.
You lying sack of shit.
Well, I was about to say, that's crazy.
That is a bold-faced lie.
We're honest in this place, all right?
Mm-hmm. Bold-faced lie.
Yeah. We take the mask off there, Warlord.
Yeah.
Be better.
I was actually going to write my congressman about you talking bad things to me.
I already did it.
That was a good one.
That guy, Warlord, he was real mean to me. He hurt my feelings.
Yep.
12 years ago.
He hates me. He tried to. Yeah, he
actually it was
tried
less
to grapple me in my own apartment.
It was at the wedding. Sure. It was at the wedding. He hurt my feelings.
Oh wow, dang! You taking it there?
Yeah. That's too. We just hurt my feelings. But I think the more, I'm going to call us the younger crowd in America. I don't know. We're probably all north of 30, almost 40 nowadays. But
I still feel young.
I think it's better that our generations and below have these type of conversations. Because obviously me and him have some conflicting ideology on the way we think, but we're having good, peaceful conversation.
Yeah.
Some of the people in the chat might not agree with some stuff, but I see people actually agreeing. Actually, weird.
Yeah, Clayton, he's got the numbers, Clayton. But no, man, I think you're right. I think it's just that. It's like I would love to snap my fingers and wake up and look around and see people that are totally fine with being disagreed with, and totally fine with being in a room where you're the only one who thinks whatever you think, and that's okay. Like again, I love Warlord, but like we've disagreed on many things in school. I still talk to him after. We still play Helldivers too. Like and I think that's
Spread
the sad
democracy.
thing. Spread democracy, damn it. But like it's just that's weird. I don't understand why we have to be absolute. Why it has to be I am right, you're wrong. To be a man is this. To be a woman is that. And again, I know that I'm blending it, but it's just.
Shout out to Lamar. Hell yeah.
Lamar University.
That's in Beaumont. Yeah,
okay, I was about to say, like, where? What?
They agreed. They said, Beaumont, you are definitely in the minority. Yeah. I live actually closer to Port Arthur. If you know Beaumont, then they know Port Arthur. Then they'll know I'm really, really in the minority around Port Arthur. So, but you don't feel it. Like I'll walk around, like I don't care. It's
I'm telling you,
it's a weird world.
Mostly.
I mean, because we do frequent Houston a lot. I can see I guess you could say the difference between crime rates there and here, but it's all population graphic based, like crime rates by population.
Yeah, I see the crime rate in person. It's bad, man. It's bad.
Where I don't know if I can ask that on chat. I don't know where y'all are.
I'm in.
You just said
I'm in Virginia. Yeah, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
huh?
I said, yeah, I'm in Virginia too, in the woods.
Yeah, in the woods, and it's just bad for me. But a lot of it's more drug related, mainly.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say, like even for like my neighborhood, like a lot of people's first time here, they'll be like, "Yo," like the people that was outside as I drove past, they just stared at me like if they don't want us here. No, this could be anybody. This could be a black guy, a white guy saying that, and then I'll say to them,
makes sense.
I'll say to them, and then think about it again, like really think about it. How many of them people staring at you like that? How many of them was white? How many of them was black? And then most of them think about it like, well, it was a good mixture. I was like, yeah, because this is kind of, if you ain't from here, we don't know if we want you here type thing. But everybody's neighborly because everyone here, not everyone, but most people here, they're all veterans which doesn't make you not racist, doesn't make you not sexist, whatever. But they're mostly they're veteran, and honestly, they're too neighborly. Like sometimes I have to tell some of these people, especially the older ones, like stop coming over here, checking on me. Like their cell phones for a reason. Don't check on me. I'll smack you. I'm a grown ass man.
God body.
Okay.
I'm about to say, I'm like, Warlord, what are we doing? What are we doing?
No, I'm laughing at
your response. People
God
care
bodies.
about you. Good Lord. Jeez.
I scream in the pillow once a year and then stone face the rest.
I don't like people coming here without calling me. Shit, call me. Don't just show up at my door. This ain't the 80s.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a slug come through your door based on what's behind you.
Sheesh, buddy. Yeah, right? Look at him. Looks like
Like knock.
Yeah, like, good Lord.
That's what I'm telling you. FBI's got him on that list.
Oh, I know he's got aluminum foil on the outside of the
We got Ring cameras now.
Oh,
we got Ring cameras now. So
he's probably got game cameras at the end of the driveway. He uploads every day.
There is cameras on my driveway.
Warlord practices his outros on those cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yo, man. All right.
And in a way, what you'd said earlier, I think the Marine Corps, or just being in the military in general, I think does jade you to a lot of real world, because when you get thrown into shit, you don't give a shit if you're Chinese, black, Mexican, purple, green, pink. I don't care who you are, gay, straight. If you have my back, you have my back, whatever. And it's the same thing. Like, I'd die on the sword for any of y'all, even still to this day. Like, it's just how it is.
Right.
Sometimes explaining that to real civilian people, it's hard for them to understand, especially the way I talk. I don't know if y'all have ever ran into that. Sometimes the way you talk around people you work with that are not military, they kind of look at you like, the fuck is
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to be honest. That was the hardest thing for me when I went to school after the Marine Corps. I cussed so much. I was so vulgar. I was so whatever. And it took time. It took time for me to truly work on that. But, like, when I'm around him or when I'm around others who start, like, it snaps back on. And I just remember, though, because what you said is so true. It's like life was so simple. It was so simple. you knew who was there, you knew who wanted to be there, you knew who cared, and you knew who had your back. I think you said it perfectly, man. And I don't know. It's sad. It's sad because when I go to my office building, right, and I'm talking to my legal receptionist or my paralegal, hey, we're talking and we're doing criminal defense now, so the material that we see daily is horrific. So you got to make a joke about some things from time to time, but there's certain things when I say the joke out loud and I look around and they don't respond, I'm like, yeah, this is
Yep. Wrong crowd.
Yeah, wrong crowd.
Wrong crowd.
Yep.
But I'm in the oil field, so I mean, I got some leniency. Some of them are weird, but when it comes to I guess you could say what I always used to say, Marines were the most heterosexual homosexuals you will ever meet in your life. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. He's laughing. He's like, I got nothing. You can't. What y'all don't know, chat, is we do some pretty weird stuff in the military that make people question your sexuality. Like, y'all did what? Like, I won't say it out loud, but I'm just gonna say it to Bailey, Twizzlers. I don't know if you remember Twizzlers, but
man.
We got some stories. That's a whole different panel. That's a whole different
I was
panel.
about to say, I was like, dear God.
Yeah.
Out of anything to say, that would be one.
That's one that tops the cake on what I said though. Like
who is D Hill talking about? Who?
He's just kind of talking about, like, I think how he was raised and things like that.
I think they were actually trolling.
God Body.
Point, yeah, God Body was trolling about something. Kissing earlobes. I don't know. I saw something about kissing earlobes earlier.
Hey, I mean, whatever works, whatever works, whatever gets you there. Sheesh. But all right, brother. I'm gonna have to call it. I gotta get ready for work tomorrow, and I want to say honestly, I gotta wake up early. But Clayton, bro, it was truly a pleasure. And Warlord, seriously, man, we gotta get him on again and talk some more and. Give him my numbers. We can talk offline or something. And wait, Clay, do you play Helldivers too?
Not anymore. The new World of Warcraft expansion is about to drop. Shout out. So I'm going almost 20 years strong on that. So,
God Body used to play WoW real hard, clean.
Hey, okay.
God Body did. All right.
Yeah,
I'm still on it.
It's able playing Space Marines 2. It's coming
that game
out
looks
like a month.
sick. That game does look sick.
I'm trying to get Warlord to play with me. I need people to play with. I need a group.
I said I'll play.
I did just get my new why is it stuck? My new 40.
Yeah, your setup's fire.
My new 4090 over here. I know.
I thought he had lights. I got lights.
He does.
My sign fell.
I need to step it
I got
up.
all kinds of weird stuff in here. I got my shelf. It's got a bunch of random. There's a foot. There's some slippers down there. I won't tell you what they are.
Clayton, God Body, he's like, yo, you play WoW? There it is.
Yeah, dude.
There it is.
Yep. I play actively, not played. I play still to this day.
Thank you, Mimi.
Thank you, Mimi and Patricia.
Yeah. And again, I really do. Yeah, I'm serious though. Let's play. And hey, I'm gonna just plug it one time. Space Marine 2. If anyone's considering playing that game, buy it and message me because I am trying to get a group going. And if you're gonna play with me, Warlord, bro, we stream that. Hey, we take it very serious.
I don't even know how to use my capture card. I need to Google how to use my capture card.
How do you not know how to use a
stream Helldivers? Is what you're talking about?
Yo, hey,
you can't be serious and stream Helldivers, bro. It's all about killing bugs and spreading democracy.
We gotta take care of each other. I'm down. Warlord, if you're down, I'm down. Clayton, you're down. I'm down to play Helldivers. I already told the missus that once this game comes out.
Shit, he dropped that.
You took it out the box.
Warlord. All right. Well, look, I'm on YouTube before you, big dog. I'm gonna figure it out. I got you. But all right, fellas.
You got one set up already. Just tell me.
I got my stream. I could stream off of the Xbox. So I'm trying to stream off the PS5.
No. I'm playing on the Xbox.
Well, yeah, I could. We stream just off the consoles, whatever.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah,
cross-play
I'm not gonna lie.
now.
That's the one thing. Yeah, that's the one thing about the Xbox that I love. I literally don't know cap. It's just go, which is sick. But all right, y'all. Let me dip. I gotta get ready. Take care, Clayton. Pleasure meeting you. Seriously.
Yes, sir.
Wait, who asked the question?
It's Clayton Sontag and Hamilton or Black Lincoln. Oh, today he's on Andre
Black Lincoln.
Hamilton. Oh, you
Why
were
am I
Black Lincoln.
golden? Yo, I was Black Lincoln. It just felt like a hilarious name. But no, it's hey, yeah, plug them. Warlord, let them know it's all good. And yeah, we get a game session in, man. Well, I'm serious. When Space Marine 3 comes out or 2 comes out, Warlord. I already told the missus, she said I can get 4 days of just like playing. I'm going to obsess over this shit. I'm going in.
Man, that ain't true.
So
That's actually my wife's setup right there.
see, that's fire. I'm doing it. And it is true, Warlord.
You can't see her headset. She has some like light up cat ear headset. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm out. Take care.
Cool. Thanks, fellas. I appreciate it.
Later, buddy.
Peace out. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, chat. Didn't do a full 2 hours today like I normally do, but I started late.
Text me next time. If I'm off, I'll hop on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll text you first.
I won't wear company appropriate stuff. Got to keep that out. But yep. Good night.
Everybody here was speaking their personal opinion. They weren't speaking for their jobs or companies.
Facts. And if you don't like my personal opinion, I still love you.
I don't.
Yeah, we'll have to talk offline. We'll talk offline. You have to give me topics before, so I don't come in here all loose cannon-y.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I came in. I had so much stuff on the tongue. I just can't type good. So I was like, oh, masculinity thing in America just gets me. So
I got you. Definitely.
Good night, friends.
All right, man. Peace out. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, mods. Oh, Mimi, Patricia. Thank y'all. D Hill, Godbody. Who else? NGO. Definitely thank you. You always come with some good insight and opinions, ma'am. And whoever else is in the bushes, thank y'all too. Y'all have a good evening. Where's the button? Oh. Oop, Copper. My bad. Thank you, ma'am.